Okay, let's talk about our drawing workbook, pages 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These all have to do with value and color. Let's start with page 8. On page 8, I would suggest to use a shading pencil. Your goal is to shade in the pear based on the picture of the pear with different color values. Start with the value scale so you can get warmed up with creating different color values. So it says white with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very dark. So I'm gonna leave this one white. I'm gonna shade lightly for number 2. Use a shading pencil on the side, not on the tip. That creates really scratchy shading. On the side will create much smoother color. Then press a little bit harder for 3. A little bit harder for 4 until you get to 5, which should be very, very dark. You should be pressing as hard as you can, overlapping your pencil lines a lot of times to get the darkest color possible. Okay, once you've done the whole scale, then you're gonna go to the pear. You're gonna shade each number based on the scale. So 1 should be left white, 5 should be very, very dark, as hard as you can, and then 2, 3, and 4 in between. When you're done shading this, it should look just like this picture or very close to this picture. Number 5 should also be on this spot here. Notice how it's very dark. It just didn't quite show up. So this one should be very, very dark, for example. So I'm coloring in hard pressure, overlapping my lines a lot to get a very dark color. And then if I'm doing a 4, see how it changes. I'm pressing a little bit lighter. It's not as dark, but it's still darker. So you might need to kind of go over your lines a few times until you get the right color. Now, if you are noticing that you're just getting too dark, then that's where your eraser comes in. Take your eraser and take away some of the areas that got too dark. Okay, page 9. Page 9 combines value and form. So what you are going to do is draw each of these 4 forms down below on the page, and you're going to shade them with color value. The first one that I'm drawing right now is a cylinder. It's just a kind of a skinny and then thick cylinder, almost like a vase. And then the other ones are sphere, cube, cone. So try your best with the drawing, and then you're gonna look very carefully at where is the darkest value, where's the shadow area, where's the lightest value, and you have to copy those values very carefully, just as the picture shows. Take your time on this. It's not easy at first. And you definitely shouldn't just be shading the whole thing like this. Use the side, pay very close attention to how the vase changes from dark to light. Vary your pressure. You can even try the cast shadow if you're feeling really like you want to challenge. The cast shadow is the shadow that's on the ground that the object is casting. It's usually just like a medium gray and 1 color shaded in, okay? So you have to do all 4 down below here. All right, page 10, value shading. So this one is with these gems. I'm gonna use color just to show you how it works with color. So I think I'll try, I'm gonna try blue. Maybe purple. Yeah, I'll try purple. Okay, so I can create a value scale with color as long as I'm pressing lighter and then medium and then harder. I can still create values of color with color pencil, okay? So you can use color pencil, shading pencil, anything that allows you to get different color values. You're gonna look at the gem picture, so I think I'll try just this one first. See how there's dark areas, medium areas, and light areas. You're going to try your best to shade in each of the gems following the color values you see. So these would be like my darkest purple, medium purple, not as dark, and then light purple. So you vary your pressure up. Page 11. Page 11 is now not value anymore. It's all about color schemes. So these are different types of color schemes. Monochromatic, which means 1 color plus different tints and shades. That means lights and darks of that color. Complementary is colors directly across from each other on the color wheel. These are colors that look really good when you pair them up, like red and green. Analogous are next to each other on the color wheel, so like red and orange. Split complementary are two one color plus 2 colors on either side of its complement. So we'll break that one down in a sec. Triadic are 3 colors equally spaced on the color wheel. Okay, so let's start with monochromatic. What I'm going to do is just fill in the wheel. I'm not going to color the whole picture. Monochromatic is 1 color plus tints and shades of that color. So if I was going to do blue, then I would find dark blues and light blues. Okay, so I'll just fill in maybe 3 of these spaces with a darker blue, maybe a medium blue, maybe a light blue. Colored pencils are great because you can find different versions of colors in here. Like I just found a dark blue and a light blue. And I'm just gonna fill in maybe 2, 3, or 4 of these spaces, dark, medium, and light blue. And then once I've kind of filled in these spaces with different versions of blue, then I'm going to color the picture. So I'm gonna use different versions of blue, just like I filled in with the wheel, and just color in the picture. All right, complementary. These are colors that are across from each other on the color wheel. So red and green are across from each other. Blue and orange and purple and yellow. So I am going to just do red and green, and I'm going to put them across from each other because that's what complementary is, red and green. So I would just color this whole picture with red and green, or you could do purple and yellow, those are complements, and blue and orange are complements. They're next to each other on the color wheel. They're very opposite. So they look good when you put them next to each other. They almost pop out against each other. If I was to put yellow and orange, those are not complements. They're pretty much almost the same color. They don't pop out as much as these do. Analogous, those are the colors that sit next to each other on the wheel. So yellow and orange, for example, and red. These are all next to each other on the wheel. See how they're almost the same color? So I'm gonna do red, orange, and yellow for my analogous wheel. Then I would just color this picture with red, orange, and yellow. You could also do blue, green, and purple, or any 3 colors that are next to each other. Okay, split complementary. 1 color plus 2 colors on either side of its complement. So this gets kind of tricky. So just start with any color. Okay, so I'm gonna start with red. Okay, so 1 color. Now, 2 colors on either side of that color's complement. Okay, what's the complement of red? It's green. Okay, what's on either side of green? On either side of green, you will find blue and you will find purple. It might be a good idea to look at the color wheel in the art room to see what is on each side of that color. So I'm looking for a blue here. Okay, so blue and green are on each side of red's complement. So basically what I'm gonna do, that was kind of pink, maybe I'll use this one. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm only going to use, to color this picture, red and the 2 colors on either side of red's complement, blue, purple. So this will be red, blue, purple. It will not be green. All right, triadic, 3 colors equally spaced on the color wheel. So this could either be the 3 primary colors, which are red, yellow, and blue, or the 3 secondary colors, which are purple, green, and orange. So I think I'll do the 3 secondary colors, purple, green, and orange. And then I would color my whole picture with those secondary colors. All right, last page, page 12. Okay, page 12 is a color study. So for this page, you actually are going to grab a little piece of paper that I have printed for you. It has the full colors of this flower. This is a famous work of art by an artist named Georgia O'Keeffe. Now you're gonna look at that paper that has the colors. There's a lot of red and oranges and yellows in that paper. And you're going to color this blank flower by looking at the colors on that flower. You can use anything that uses colors, like you can use crayons, color pencils, oil pastels, or chalk. I, for mine, started to use oil pastels because I liked how they mixed. And this painting has a lot of colors that very subtly mix. So I'm going to use oil pastels for my picture. I'm going to look at the picture again, study it, and see how the colors match. This picture should look very much like the flower that I printed for you in the end. All right, that is it. The next couple pages talk about space and some other principles of design. So after this page, we'll be done with color. We'll talk about those in the next video.